All right, we're back. Now we got 5RB versus Dynasty. This is going to be game one. Drafts are already in progress. This is once again week 2 if you're just tuning in. Sorry, week 12. Sorry, season 12, week 3, Articuno Unite League. Apologies. It's been a long day. It's 10:16 Eastern. We're in for another exciting set. The second one of 3. There's going to be one more after this. It's supposed to start at 11, but let's be honest. If I'm casting it, you won't be able to see it until a little bit afterwards. But let's see what we get done here. Bands for 5RB, 5 Laboons is going to be Blissey, Charwai, and Greninja. Over on Dynasty, they're going to be banning Azumarill, which they don't need to. It's just universally banned. There's going to be Umbreon and Machamp. I'm going to let them know. Going to let them know right now for Dynasty. They probably didn't know. I didn't know till like an hour ago. Someone had to tell me. If they'd like to redraft, I will allow it. If they're going to let it rock, I will allow that too. This is mainly for practice. There's nothing on the line but pride. So there's really nothing to really worry about like that. Okay, we got Kiro. Oh, you know him, you love him. He's on Latios. Mr. Latino himself, Blue Boy. The boys in blue. Back there with Blastoise and Psyduck. Yeah, they got nerfed, quote unquote, but they're still menaces on the field of battle. That is a strong team already for 5 Laboons. Over on Dynasty, we're going to have Snorlax. We're going to have Sirfetch'd and Eldegoss. And we're going to have we're going to have 2 attackers with these guys. We're going to have Espeon. We're going to have Venusaur. Very well-balanced composition. Good engage, good peel, good range. I apologize. That wasn't Venusaur at the end. It was just hovered over. Venusaur still is a good pick. They're going to need some sort of range to deal with that Latios. They don't want to stack up on bulky frontline. Latios is going to have a feast. Well, he's going to have a feast. He's got a lot of good targets. He's going to have Eldegoss, Sirfetch'd, and Snorlax, and Moltres. That Latios is going to eat. If I were him, I would go Draco Meteor. They're going to have to be very careful with how much stacks they give him. How much Eon stacks they give him. As a review, at level 5 onwards, Latios is going to have a move. Either Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor. Every time they clear farm, they'll get 2 Eon stacks. Every time they hit an opposing Pokemon with just Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse, they'll get 3 Eon stacks per person they hit. So it can add up quickly. And now that they have a bunch of bulky frontline all grouped up together, especially on that Eldegoss, he's going to be eaten. He's going to be eating. On top of that, they got Blastoise and Psyduck to displace the enemies, which can run counterproductive to Latios, but it's all going to come down to execution. Let's see what they got. We pray for no crashes. We're about to start the game. This is 5 Laboons versus Dynasty. Set number 2 of tonight of 3. Let's get active. This is taking a long time to load up. That Snorlax is on inferior hardware. Is that a Switch 1 player? Somebody, chat, point and laugh at that man. All right, you know the drill. Bottom lane is going to be Squirtle. It's going to be down there with Latios. Talonflame is going to be the jungler. Buzzwole's going to be at the top with a Psyduck. They'll be going off against Sirfetch'd and an Eldegoss. Moltres will be the jungler. I agree with this. Snorlax is going to be doing an invade, and over at the bottom by Zolsum is going to be an Espeon. Let's take a look at the Snorlax. He's already getting a Boltor, doing a wonderful job already. Putting this Talonflame behind. Can he get the Tackle Secure? I believe he will. See, there it is. He got blue buff. And Snorlax wins this fight right now. Squirtle's coming in, but he's going to be a little too late. That is a KO on the jungler. Snorlax, good work of Dynasty. And he's going to be able to get that. Oh, Squirtle got that. Snorlax was focusing on the KO here. All right, he has eyes on Squirtle. They popped the focus ban. Snorlax is going to rest here. Fighting a 2v1. Technically 3v1 with that farm. Can he get the KO? Yep, he got it on Squirtle, and he got the red buff. Destruction Incarnate and Snorlax. And he got a berry. It is not looking good for 5 RB, let me tell you. That was way too much value Snorlax got. A50 has been and done and gone. Stacks for everyone. Buzzle's not level 5. All the farms being taken. They had no jungle follow-up. There was no jungle follow-up for any lane. Overheat Moltres is actually a cruel mistress. They're going to leave top at 1 here. Ready for a massive overcap. 5 seconds until Regidrago here. Moltres is all over that. That is the Squirtle not on that War Turtle. That Poltoy is not going to make you level 5. Actually, I lied. Yes, it is. But it's going to head towards the bottom. Latios is also level 5. He's going to start getting some stacks here. He's going to be really greedy with these stacks. His team is very far behind. Squirtle trying to risk it for the biscuit with the secure. I respect it. Just couldn't quite work out. Snorlax back to his shenanigans again. Back in the jungle. Psyduck is going to have to surf on out of here to live. Red buff going to Surfetch, who's level 8 already. Who's a jungler here? Snorlax avoiding that Draco Meteor. Latios is like, now what? All right, pushing it away, being just an overall nuisance here. Towards the bottom. Fire B is trying to salvage what they can here. All the momentum's for Dynasty. War Turtle might go down, and in fact it does, along with Talon. Double KO for Espeon. It has its ult. It has reached level 8. Top pet shouldn't exist anymore. It is High Noon and leaves. It in fact is gone. Snorlax back on his shenanigans. Popping focus. Slowing down the jungler as long as possible. Almost getting a KO on Latios. Snorlax backing up again. We do have, in fact, have a Talonflame. Regilecki's walking down. This is going to be all hands on deck. I wouldn't do that. You don't have the levels to fight that. You don't have the ults to fight that. You're only going to feed them more. But Latios actually needs to be up there for stacks. So I guess that is why they're fighting. Down goes Snorlax. And a rebuttal. All right, that is interesting. Dynasty didn't commit to that 5-man push. They gave some levels back to 5 RB. They might come to regret that. Latios getting more stacks. That is 3 meteors. That is at least 25 Eon stacks, but he's going to need way more than that. Down he goes. Farm available at the center. Talonflame's not going to fly down on that one. He's going to have to back up. Surfresh is pushing this Psyduck away towards its pad. That is not a Blastoise. It is almost 5 minutes in. He's very far behind. You can't be there right now, son. Latios getting some good stacks here. He's right where he needs to be. And if you die for it, you got to get those stacks. Oh, he died for it. I respect it anyway. But also getting a 40 bomb. Just focusing on his levels. Just do what you can. It's all about the late game. The first 8 minutes to prepare for the last 2. War Turtle getting griefed out of his level 7, but he actually did get it in death. Psyduck about to get KO'd here. Buzzle's coming in, but he's taking way too much damage. Blastoise serving in, but there's no follow-up. He's getting blasted with the 12 gauge from Espeon. Down it goes. Latios ulting, but it fizzles due to the dodge from Eldegoss. Latios still on 3 stacks. Sorry, 3 meteors. 4 meteors, that's at least 50 Eon stacks. Good stuff, good pace. Snorlax in the back. All right. Yo, keep this Snorlax in place. He's getting good value on him. Snorlax is just bullying this guy. Oh my goodness. I know he's giving away stacks to Latios, but Latios is only really getting 3 stacks at a time. That's not that much. He finally goes down, no fly. But so does... Uh-oh. Not looking good. So does Buzzwole. Latios, Talonflame side, they're all gone. Blastoise is all that remains. He's not level 9 yet. It is 344. This is... He just needs to farm. There's no choice. He needs to get into the game. There's that level 9. Dynasty's all over 5 Rillabooms right now. There's the meteors. I count them 5. That's at least 75 stacks. Latios still in good pace. They can still win this. Latios just needs some more stacks and just needs some levels, and he's A-okay. There's the Snorlax ult. He'll get that back in time. Psyduck goes down. Blastoise goes down. More stacks for Latios. He's actually loving this one. He'll take it. A lot of damage. I believe that is 6 stacks. 6 meteors. Yep, he has at least 100 stacks. He just needs the levels to follow through. He's level 10. And it's not going to quite cut it for the 2-minute mark. Can he get the KO on the Snorlax? Snorlax just going in to his death. Yep, there it is. There's the KO. Alright, farm is available for 5 RP. I'd give it to the Latios. He needs to be at least 12. It'll be in very good standings. Heck, I'd even give up this pet. This pet's really not that important right now. They're already very far behind. But hey, Latios coming up for stacks. He'll take it. Getting the telekinesis there. Eldegoss in mortal danger. It's 207. This is the raid fight, folks. Oh, yeah. Pop some out, son. Down goes Sirfetch'd. Dynasty, they were doing so well, but they're throwing. They were doing so well. A miscommunication there. Snorlax just doing his best to stall. Talonflame is ripping it. He needs to do that. I agree. There's the meteor who gets a secure. It is Eldegoss. No way! Dynasty never punished. KO on Eldegoss. That's a buff going to Psyduck. Massive damage on Snorlax. He doesn't want to be there. That's the telekinesis. Hold him in place. Uh-oh. Massive meteors on Moltres. This is a fight for the ages. This is going to be a slow burn. Dynasty doesn't really need to score. They just need to hold out. They're in the lead by a lot. Only Psyduck has a buff. That's a lot of damage there. It's time to score. It's now or never. That goal is defenseless, so no one can really stand on it for health. Dynasty pretty much playing for time here. They're probably going to get some scores in. Yep. Clock is winding down. No one could score. Wait, there's a score right there. That's 100. All right. That is pretty much it. Dynasty coming back and retaking game 1 from the clutches of defeat. Now, I will say, Dynasty had a miscommunication there. They overextended. They gave value back to 5RB. 5RB didn't capitalize, though they missed out on the securing, and I do believe that is because Talonflame did fly a bit too early. You needed to wait for the Draco Meteors to come down from Latios and then go for fly. Eldegoss should not secure that in any situation over a Talonflame. That just should not be happening. But it is what it is. Final score is 188 to 863. MVP is going to go to Toro of Dynasty. 12 KOs, 224 points scored, and 9 assists with 88 overall rating. And the damage numbers, they should follow that. Yep, 96k between both Moltres and Kinsey's Espeon. Good stuff to both teams. 5RB holding on as long as possible. They actually almost won that flat out. They didn't give up. That was good stuff. Let's see if they keep up that attitude going into game 2. Stay tuned. Alright, we're back for game number 2. Dynasty has taken game 1. Let's check out these bands. I imagine they're going to be more or less the same. So it was interesting that Flower Bees had Psyduck and Blastoise, but they struggled so hard. I believe checking to the chat over there between the two teams, there was someone on Red Pink for a while there. So that could have contributed to it. We have some people in different regions, like such as Latin America, for example. But that is the risk you take when you're signing up for Articuno League. We're on the server with the lowest ping, and we're just going to have to deal with it. And whatever happens, happens. Remember, folks, Articuno and Azu is banned. Azu also due to a bug that has been discovered. Looking at the rest of these bans. Farfetch, Bliss, Charwai, Umbreon, Psyduck, Machampion. Banned. Blastoise is still up. Still a strong pick. Let's see who takes him. Fiber B is going to stay with Latios. Latios has always just been a solid pick for these guys. The Latios on any team will slowly but surely get their stacks. And they'll get them fast enough. They always get at least 100 by the 2-minute mark. And at least level 12. If you can do that, you've successfully prepared, in my mind, as Latios. Moltres landing back on Dynasty's team once again. It provided a lot of value for the team. It was a bulky front line that has sustained an overheat. Overheat activates, and then it's just passively healing over time. And then it could double Q by getting a boosted off to get even more healing. Accompanying the Moltres is going to be Greninja, an attacker. How much you do one? I see an attack rate. That tells me this is going to be perhaps a Surf Smokescreen Greninja. Surf getting a bit of a damage nerf, but I believe from the patch notes it's better at farming. The cap has been increased to allow for that. And it's going to be a Mew, and it looks like a Crustle. These are some strong lane partners. Oh, not Crustle. Mr. Mime, still strong lane partner for the team. Back over at Fire B, the purple team, there's going to be Latios, there's going to be Alcremie, Snorlax. I see a Pikachu, but I don't think they're going to land on it. Last 2 pick is falling to R5 RB, 5 Rillaboons. It's going to be perhaps a all-arounder and a speedster of some sort. They're going to land on Zeraora, another mon that has been buffed. Has some cooldown reduction, has some more damage on Wild Charge and Volt Switch. And there's going to be a Zacian, always a strong bond fundamentally. Once it has proper setup, it just goes in and sweeps. I call him, he's a late game sweeper in Pokemon Unite, in my opinion. Last pick, falling towards Dynasty. They're going to land on their defender finally, and it's going to be Trevenant. There's a lot of good choices. This is going to be a game without a Blastoise here. He wasn't chosen at all. We're finally moving past him. Hooray! Some more representation. Snorlax, Trevenant, you love to see it. These are also excellent defenders. It's not all about Blastoise. Thank God. A lot of preparations here. About 20 seconds left. Everyone has their items in order. Looking at both teams' compositions. There's going to be a lot of setup play coming from the Mime and Trevenant. So Mew and the rest, like Greninja and Moltres, can follow through. They got the engage, and they got the follow through unlocked over at Dynasty. Meanwhile, back at 5 RB, they're going to have to really rely on this Latios to finally do enough damage for the Zacian to follow through at an off angle. In the meantime, Snorlax and Zacian will be working together heavily. Snorlax with the engages with the heavy slam and block combinations, and Zacian slashing through. Zacian will have to be careful of the Mine Wolves and the Trevenant Wood Hammers and Horn Leeches. He wants to avoid those. Zacian, like getting all around, it doesn't want to be fighting defenders like that. That's not to his strengths. At the bottom, we're going to have Snorlax and Latios. Once again, jungler is going to be Zacian for 5 RB. Up at the top is going to be... Zeraora in the jungle for 5 RB. Zacian and Alcremie are heading towards top. They'll be fighting up against Moltres and Mr. Mime. Greninja's the jungler. Mew's at the bottom. And Trevenant's actually going to be invading this time around. Look at him. Trevenant. Invading. What a concept. Let's see who's going to get the secure here. Trevenant actually almost got it. It's going to fall to Zero Aura, but because Snorlax was there, some of that XP goes to Snorlax. Zacian won't be level 5 right away, but it shouldn't matter. There's going to be a lot of farm up top for him to secure. Oh, yeah, Alcream's taking a lot of damage. Zacian can only do so much, but it is doing some good damage. Down that goes. That's some value there. Moltres is going to have to back up. Hopefully that farm doesn't take it out. He almost lost to the farm. Snorlax creating some space on his pad, but he's going to go down here. Actually, no, he's going to flash away. All this farm belongs to Dynasty. Towards the bottom, Latios is doing its best against the Mew. It's a tall task. Latios can't quite out-secure Mew. E-Ball is nobody's fool. Especially backed by a light screen. Yep, just like that. Mew already with 30 points. But at least Latios is level 5. He can start stacking. Is this a Dragon Pulse or a Draco Meteor? I'm gonna find out. It is a Dragon Pulse, Latios. Alright, I believe he wants to stay light on his feet. He doesn't want to get doved on by Greninja. I believe that is the logic for his decision. Alright. Draco is here, is rotated towards the bottom, and it's past 8 minutes. Greninja's right. Hey, you're right. I should start hitting this Regidrago here. Latios is here. Gotta get a Dragon Pulse. Secure. Wait, Greninja got that. Yep. And he got Snorlax. And he's about to get Latios. No, and Latios is gonna flash away. That means bottom pad is up for keeps, up for grabs. Zeraora coming in from the L bush, looking to pick on somebody. Volt Switch Discharge. Heavy Slam. Uh-oh. Yep, getting the guarantee kill on Zeraora. There it is. He forced an unnecessary Grand Ult, so he won't have that for a little bit. 100 seconds, bare minimum. The Greninja ult is relatively fast to reactivate. Latios is back. He just needs to be greedy with those stacks. It's harder to accumulate a lot of stacks with Dragon Pulse as opposed to Draco Meteor, depending on the matchups. But he has at least 25, in my opinion. I saw the orbs coming out of the flash. Back at the top. Moltres, almost level 9. When in ult, it does a lot of damage and it provides extended vision on his gold pads. There's a double overheat taking down a Creamy. Good God. Station with the Metal Claw, but it is horribly underleveled. But you know who's not underleveled? This Zeraora. Double KO on Mime and Moltres. Looking for its next prey. And it's taking its time here. Zeraora's bush shaking. Greninja's backing up. It has its ult available, looking for a potential secure on farm and Pokemon alike. There's a huge Metal Claw from Zacian. Down it goes. Zacian went from 7 to 9. Greninja should not be going down there. But Mr. Mime with the secure, and down goes, wait. Yep, Zeraora and Alcreamy. Dynasty's not giving up here. There's a Mime break. No, Moltres breaks it. It's okay. We just want Regulated to keep walking for pressure. It is not 5 minutes yet, so the bounce pad isn't coming. That is a Curse Horn Leech Trevenant. Getting major damage and slowdown there. This is a juicy team fight out in Tier 2 for 5 RB. They're holding it down as best they can. They're doing a pretty good job. Moltres getting some picks there. Burn damage KOs. Regieleki over there getting pushed away. Down goes Moltres, but oh, it walks through. Mr. Mime dying for that score. He's okay with that. Uh-oh, Greninja's still here. Clean up with Surfs. This is what he wants. Score for iframes. Yep, there goes their Tier 2. Greninja with the clutch. And now it's time for the jungle. Zeraora trying to get as much of the farm as it can. Losing out to Greninja there. There's Latios. He's here for his stacks. He doesn't have a choice. That should be sticks right there. Snorlax ult, Zeraora bringing down the thunder. Another heavy slam block. He caught Greninja, but no one's there to follow up. That was an excellent engage. All right, Latios is here. And he got the KO. Good stuff. All right. Greninja's level 14. He cannot be dying like that. He doesn't want to give up levels, especially at this point of the game. He's going to have to be careful here from here on out. Creamy ulting, enhancing that tier 1. Me Solomon not doing too much. Trying it back there with a Curse Horn Leech, but it's getting walled out by block. Discharge doing insane damage. Volt switching back. Trevenant pushing them into the corner. Pushing them again. No backup for Trevenant. He's done enough. Greninja ripping Regieleki all by its lonesome. I didn't even notice. Trevenant is back in effect. If you heard that, he has respawned. Mr. Mime ulting. Solar Beam, major damage. Confusion from Mr. Mime. Sky Attack from Moltres. Oh, let's take a look here at Greninja. What is he up to? Almost level 15, getting all this farm. Taking down Zacian. All right, all that farm top side belongs to him. What's happening at bottom side? Zeraora going down to an overheat from Moltres. Oh my god, look at all these levels. Most of it's going towards Dynasty. They got a 14 and a 15 and a 13. I will like to point out, Fire Beast's actually not too far behind. They can make this work. It's just gonna be tough. They're gonna have to really play together. That's good. That's a good Dragon Pulse on Greninja. Uh-oh, that's a double KO on Zeraora and Snorlax. Uh-oh, Greninja going in. That's a Surf Secure. No more stacks for Latios. It is 9-10. This is basically the Kyogre fight. Time to rip the objective. Go, 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 go. Zacian is around. He has 12 points. That's not a lot. He can't really enhance his attacks too hard. They're not going to rip it. They're going to fight again. I agree. Uh-oh. Shadow sneaking away. That's a pickup on Latios. There was a ninja in the night. Smoke screen right into him. He didn't even see him coming. All right. That is game 2. Let's not waste any more time. I agree. We're on a scheduled upkeep. Game 2 going to Dynasty in a convincing fashion. All right. Final score, 56-436. Dynasty's win. Checking out the battle data. Toro, obviously the MVP, the Greninja. Stealthily in the night. 149 score. 15 KOs, 7 assists, 88 overall rating. Battle data, 107, only bested by Kraft Mac and Cheese. Moltres with a 113K. Good stuff. Let's check them out in game number 3. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, sorry about that, folks. A lot of server resetting, a lot of changing the server. Getting everyone's connection right. But we're back. Game 3 of this set. Dynasty is up to 0. I have to update that. One moment. All right. Should be good now. All right. Bands are as what you would expect. Bliss, Charwai, Greninja this time around. Now Greninja was putting in work. So they're deciding to shut it down. Last picks, last man's over on Dynasty is gonna fall to Champ, Psyduck, and Umbreon. They do not want to be impeded. What are they gonna focus on this time around then? Let us see. All right, Slugger is going to hone in on Sirfetch'd. Sirfetch'd still doing its thing. They did fix a bug within this recent patch where once it evolves, it's actually supposed to, like, slow down and not just keep moving. That was a bug. Over on Dynasty, they're going to stick with Mew and Moltres. They've been successful this far. But I'm interested to see how Game 3 goes. The server has been updated. We're on North America number 3. Hopefully people are able to play, or at least won't be able to complain as much. Snorlax, Nog once again falling towards 5RB. Holding it down. Hopefully we get another invade. It's been doing a wonderful job so far. He'll be picking up A9, also buffed. Cooldown reduction, damage increased. They'll be going up against Mamoswine, and I do see a Sableye. Sableye definitely going to be invading. Oh no, it's going to be another support. It is going to be Mr. Mime. That was a head fake. Last 2 picks falling to 5RB. Let's see who they are focusing on for Game 3. Week 12. Week 3 of Swiss for this Articuno Unite League. They're going to hone in on Cinderace and Clefable. Last pick going to Toro of Dynasty. He's going to pick an all-rounder of some sorts. He's in that category. Looks like his Mon of choice will be Metagross. All right. Hopefully, Metagross can get an ult on those squishier targets towards the back and trap them in the dome. And once that happens, that could be Mime ulted to oblivion. We'll see what the combination plays out as. 25 more seconds of final preparations. Everyone's got their items set. Curse item for A9. Alolan Ninetales. Interesting. Mr. Mime on experience share. You know he doesn't quite need it, but why not just give it to him? He can't quite farm as fast as everyone else. All right, servers have been adjusted. Hopefully we're going to get a more competitive set right out the gate. Everyone's loading in. We pray for no crashes, chat. Other than that, how is everyone doing? Yeah, it's currently 11:08 Eastern. This is set number 2, and there's still one more. Though right now, DLG and Dopamine are starting. They've already started their set. They want to run on time. That is respectable. We're going to be tuning in mid-set for their engagement. But for now, we got this one to worry about. Dynasty is on game point. They just need one more win to get 3 points for the week. At best, IRB can only hope for a tie. Sirfetch'd and Clef are heading towards the top. A9. Wait, they're doing something interesting here. A9 and Cinderace are doing a split jungle. They're just not going to be at bottom. Snorlax is trying to stop the... Well, he's not going to go stop the invade from Mamo. Mew's holding it down at the bottom. It's a very slow ripper. They're finally sending somebody down. It goes to Mew. Mana grows over here. The jungler and Mr. Mime is up top with Moltres. Now, that mammal invading definitely put a damper on 5RB's plans. But I think it worked out for 5RB overall. They got the A9. They got the reboot. All is good in the land. Surfetch all over that Mammo, getting the KO there. A9 with the pickup. Metagross about to get a fat shield with this gyro ball. Still gonna have to back up though. The Snow Warning could not stop the score from Moltres, but he's gonna go down anyway. Major damage from this A9. Not caring about the shields. Well, you better start caring. Metagross still alive. There's the tackle attack moving in. No follow-up though. He's not leaving quite yet. There's the damage from Surfetch, and there's the Leaf Blade KO and cutting him in half. All right, much different set this game 3. A9 going down though, he has overextended. Mammo invading again, but there's just nothing here for him. Sucker. Cinderace is like, so you like to invade, huh? I'll deal with you later. Raging Draco is still available. Mew's like, finally, somebody's ripping. Here's a Solar Beam for you. Mew's gonna switch to E-Ball, getting ready for this secure. Secure falls to Metagross. Cinderace, confusingly, Blaze kicking in, forced a feint attack and getting caught on a wall by Mr. Mime. And it's spawning back. A9 grabbed the berry, but he can't quite stop what Dynasty is cooking over at the bottom lane. They're going to get the scores in. And Cinderace out of position once again. That is a KO for Moltres. Metagross has reached its next stage. It is now level 9. Back over here. Yep. Mammo should be done here. That one basic did not get him. Surprising. Cinderace is on the chase. Meanwhile, at the bottom, they really needed Cinderace here. He's just not here. Confusingly, they're going to give up bottom. Are they hoping for an overcap? It looks like it. All right, there it is. Win condition is online for Dynasty. Cinderace securing Regirock here. Snorlax front lining for his team. That is a KO there on Cinderace once again. Snorlax goes down. And the whole thing falls apart. A9 goes down. Surfetch next. Clefable has to bail. Force farm for Toro and Mew. Back at the top. Moltres getting a score in. Backing up with a Sky Attack. Getting more farm. Farm is the name of the game. Mammo's almost level 9. Needs that stage 3. He's on decent pacing. I believe that was a focus band proc from Mammo. He won't have that for a bit. I believe 85 seconds. A lot of farm is available up top and has been secured by both teams. They might be looking at a team fight breaking out here. Oh, Metagross goes in. There's the ult from Meta. Sealing people in. Yep, next are 2 attackers. And down they go. Mr. Mime taking the berry. There it is. Creating passivity. That's a big sword. This is about it. 39 overcat. Whoa, Metagross is not interested in that. They're going to back up. They do not want more farm available for 5RB. There is the Mammo ult. Oh, jeez. Mamo is out of there. More farms. Cinderace might be able to get the pickup. No, that's too healthy of a Metagross. Hey, hold on. Yes, I'd do Blaze Kick over the wall. Down goes Surfetch once again. Mamo finally trying to get this 39 in. There's the Earth Kick, but he's gonna get kicked away by Blaze Kick, canceling out that Earthquake. Olax goes down. There's a huge Solar Beam. There's that Earthquake. Down goes Cinderace. Double KO for Mr. Mime. Another Solar Beam. Time to get that scoring, gentlemen. Moltres is creating some distance here. He's gonna go down for it. More levels for A9. Meanwhile, Reggie Ice has been secured. Metagross is heading in. That is a KO on Clef. Metagross ulting, not gonna get a refund. He didn't get it secure there, but he's gonna get these KOs. 5RB bouncing back here, coming alive. But is it all for naught? Surfetch, you gotta hold it down. As Surfetch does not have the means to deal with the Mew, and it's showing. Alright. Most of the levels is going to go towards Dynasty, but we got a level 13 Cinderace that is not to be underestimated. About 30 seconds left for the final objective to show up. Dynasty, in the meantime, is going to secure Regieleki to create some external pressure. This is win condition. Cinderace is heading towards the top. Looks like he's going to go for a rip here. The rest of 5RB is going to leave Regieleki walk in. Interesting choice. Moltres should have vision. Mamo should have vision. Massive Solar Beam. Here comes Metagross from the top. Metagross and Mamo. And, time. Oh, Mamo goes in. Mr. Mime all over Cinderace, getting the berry. Cinderace is not able to help his team, and they need the damage. Yep, this should be an ace. KO. And Regieleki still activated. 3 scores. At game 3, going to Dynasty. All right. Final score is 79 to 533. Kraft Mac and Cheese. The Moltres, once again, the MVP. 189 points scored, 11 KOs, and 12 assists. 86k damage dealt. The most in the lobby. Not too far from Metagross here with an 84k. Good stuff. They pretty much controlled the game from start to finish. IRB is going to have to make some major adjustments going into Game 4. The set has been won for Dynasty, but hey, got to play the final game out. This is why we're here. This is all for the practice. Let's see what 5RB comes up with coming into Game 4. Stay tuned.